Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we take another look at Election Day across our region and some of the results that came out of it. And officials with Kentucky State Police announced dozens of promotions that were given to just some of the people who work hard to keep Kentuckians safe.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning to you. I'm Dakota Makris. It's 5:34 here. Thank you so much for joining us on this Friday Eve. We certainly appreciate it. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at our forecast this morning. And before we get started, we were playing a game of, name the county and I'll name the judge executive. There's one county, I don't know the judge executive, and Brandon won't tell me the name. So
we'll talk about it later.
We will.
That's right. I got to double check to make sure I'm right too. But yeah. But today, forecast-wise, we're just waiting on the rain because Eastern Kentucky is burning this morning, and we desperately need some of that rain. Let's go to our camera network, excuse me, and look at Pikeville over there at the US 119, US 23 intersection near Pikeville Commons. Some traffic already out there. One of the warmest spots in the region this morning at 54. So get out there to enjoy this last mild day because we're going to see temperatures plummet after today. This could be the last 70-degree reading or better that we'll see all the way into the end of this year. 38 Clintwood, 34 Manchester, 39 Jacksboro, Monticello, 53 Harlan, 54 in Pikeville, and 52 in Jackson and Moorhead this morning, also in Williamsburg. So again, a lot of cold air out there. It's already warming up to the west ahead of the cold front. Carbondale's at 59. Come back into Louisville there at 54. Cincinnati's at 37. Tri-Cities 44. And Knoxville 42. 74 this afternoon. As I said before, enjoy it because all that's going to come to a crashing end as we head into this weekend. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, Kentucky voters rejected changes to the state constitution as wanted by the Republican majority, but still voted to add several more GOP members to the legislature. Our Phil Pendleton talked with Governor Andy Beshear and House and Senate leaders about the midterm election results.
Kentucky's General Assembly was already really red, and after Tuesday, it's even more so, especially in the State House. Some results are still too close to call, but Speaker David Osborne says the 100-member House should be made up of at least 80 Republicans come January.
I think it's a testament to our members and a testament to the fact that the people of Kentucky want difficult decisions to be made.
Kentucky House Democrats say that they were fighting an uphill battle in this election cycle. They issued a statement saying that there were a number of things that worked against them, including nationalization of local and state races, and they say that there was also the redistricting that they say caused a gerrymandering effect. While more Republicans were added, some of the Republican agenda was rejected by voters. Both constitutional amendments were defeated, including one that puts no right to an abortion in the state constitution.
I think the people of Kentucky said that those individuals deserve options, and I agree.
The spending on Constitutional Amendment 2 was overwhelming, actually it ultimately ended up a little closer than I heard many predict.
But with supermajorities still in place in both chambers, legislative leaders say they believe their policy is what most Kentuckians want.
But I think maybe the point of the night is this: 31, 80, all constitutional offices, and except for one. And this shows what this state is like.
In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, next year will be another big election year in Kentucky with the race for the governor and the constitutional officers. Well, other items on ballots across the region were wet-dry votes. Both the city of Hyden and Ravenna voted to allow alcohol in at least some capacity in their respective communities. Hyden voters decided that the city will now be a wet town. 58 people voted yes to the measure, while 50 voted no. This means alcohol sales will be legal in the city. Leslie County was one of only 10 dry counties left in the state. Voters in Ravenna voted to allow alcohol sales at certain restaurants. 155 voted yes, while 61 voted no. Well, in Kentucky, Senator Rand Paul, Hal Rogers, and Andy Barr easily retained their seats in the U.S. Congress. Senator Paul defeated Democratic challenger Charles Booker for the U.S. Senate seat. Rogers defeated Connor Habib to secure his 22nd term in the U.S. House of Representatives. And District 6 Representative Andy Barr faced off against challenger Jeff Young and won a 6th term in office. Election Day did not end without complaints this time around. As of 8 p.m. Tuesday, 93 pre-election day complaints and 209 day of complaints had been called into the election fraud hotline. On Election Day, Bell, Boyd, Breathitt, Floyd, Harlan, Knott, Laurel, Lee, Letcher, Perry, Pike, Powell, Rockcastle, Rowan, and Wayne County all reported at least one call to the hotline. Knott County had one call with a complaint of vote buying or selling. Laurel County reported 3 voting machine complaints. Floyd County had several complaints, including one call of disrupting polls and one call of election fraud and one call of vote buying. The other counties reported issues from electioneering complaints to procedural questions. Kentucky State Police announced dozens of new promotions on Wednesday. The 31 promotions were announced during a ceremony at the Capitol Plaza Hotel in Frankfort. Well, they include 1 major, 2 captains, 3 lieutenants, and 25 sergeants. KSP says all of them will provide a more active role in serving their communities. Well, the governor was at the ceremony and stood with each recipient when their name was called.
I want you to know this Commonwealth loves you. We appreciate you. And even if you don't hear it enough, we need you. And we want each and every one of you to be safe and come home each night to your family.
State Police Commissioner Philip Burnett Jr. encouraged each new leader to put integrity and honesty first and make Kentucky's safety the utmost priority. We have an update on a story we have been covering during the last several days. This week, Sophia Rosing announced she would withdraw as a student from the University of Kentucky. Well, in case you missed it, Rosing is the student in a viral video who can be seen yelling at and what appeared to be assaulting a black student. But on Wednesday, UK President Eli Capilouto sent out a message to the campus community saying Rosing is no longer a student at the school and is banned from the campus. Well, in the statement, Capilouto said, quote, as a community working wholeheartedly to prevent racist violence, we also must be committed to holding people accountable for their actions, end quote. The statement went on to say Rosing will not be eligible to re-enroll as a student. Shaping Our Appalachian Region, or SOAR, is working to provide aid to students who were left without many of the things they need after the flooding we experienced in July. Our buddy Forbes has more about some of the SOAR programs that aim to keep them here and help them succeed.
After the floods destroyed communities and comforts for many families in eastern Kentucky.
The ripple effect is homes were destroyed and children and students all throughout our region are facing various degrees of new normals.
Shaping Our Appalachian Region wanted to step in to reshape reality for area students.
Learning doesn't stop, and students still have to continue through that journey of school, given, a terrible situation.
So the organization created a student flood relief fund to help fill the gaps, fulfilling immediate supply needs for students.
It really gets to the essence of why SOAR was created.
Along with the focus on helping now, the organization is working to keep the future on the forefront.
Students don't need to be told that they have to leave the region for an opportunity.
With the Youth Entrepreneurship Program Plan,
we live in a world now where students and adults can create their own opportunities. So we want to start that dialogue and make sure that our youth understands that entrepreneurship is a pathway that they can choose.
Creating a blueprint for success catered to the future leaders, discussing mindsets, skill sets, and tool sets.
Sometimes we forget to think about the resiliency, the talent, and the incredible future that is in our schools, and we have to do everything we can inside those schools, but also outside the schools, in the communities and organizations like ours, to provide the resources and empower and encourage them to dream big.
And reminding them that saying yep to staying in the mountains can also be a way to soar. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, students interested in learning more about the programs can visit our website at WYMT.com. Well, still to come this morning, country superstars used the stage at the CMA Awards to pay tribute to the late and great Miss Loretta Lynn.
And the forecast turns soggy and then cold, all in the next 48 hours. I'll have more we can expect in the coming days in about 3 minutes.